Yeah, I just told him to take his time, because if he rushes, he'll forget something. I'm already getting a flat spot on my tire from being on the road. Carrying this much weight, they're just melting off the wheels. Did you steal a towel?
I did.
Go into the sound room.
No.
No.
I'm borrowing it.
No.
Using the National Park System as our guide, we want to go from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to the coast of Oregon, using only routes that will take us to the small towns and rural areas of the nation. As an additional challenge, and to be able to travel on these routes, we want to be able to do this on 2 dual-purpose motorcycles.
It'll be easy. What could go wrong, right?
The crew will be divided into 2 groups. My crew will move south from Pittsburgh towards Tennessee.
What just happened, first of all?
We didn't start going the wrong way. We've been going the wrong way for like an hour. That was my fault.
I don't think many people get lost on a normal basis in the middle of nowhere with a huge car that you're not familiar with driving.
There's a guy behind me that gave me directions, and we're going to follow them. I don't have any street names, I just have buildings that we have to look for.
Watching them gauge everything and actually experience it completely, it's really interesting, and it's really, I don't know. I mean, personally, I would be terrified if I had to drive through that completely unprotected.
Everybody's like, oh, this is so much fun. It is so much fun.
From Tennessee, we'll move west across Kentucky and Missouri and over into Oklahoma. Then we'll zigzag across the high plains, crossing over the Rockies and traveling areas of the Southwest. From there, we'll move north into Oregon, where we'll meet Nick, who's directing the second half of our crew, and a dear friend of mine living with spinal muscular atrophy. He is traveling a northern route, documenting the unique challenges that he faces as a person traveling with a disability.
Never driven like that before, so I was exhausted at this point.
Our 2 groups will meet outside of Euegene, Oregon, where we will then move as one group to the coast. This is the story of our travels, everything that we experienced and all that we endured. We are the Alt Project. This is our story.
Why are we still waiting? Why are we still praying? Why do we keep playing out of tune? Why are we still thinking? Why are we still taking? Why do we keep playing out of tune?
Morning of the second day, our plans changed a little bit because we realized that we were close to Spruce Knob, which is the highest point in West Virginia. It sits at approximately 4,800 feet. We hadn't planned on going there, but considering that we were so close, felt that it was pretty important for us to go. So we did. Went to breakfast, changed the route a little bit, and headed that way.
Hey, I'm so sore. It was a tough first day. Just my back, my lower back, legs, shoulders. I mean, it's just muscles for riding that I haven't used in a long time. Yeah, so I could use some food and some coffee, and hopefully we can get a day of this behind us again. But I'll be happy when we get to further south.
We're like 15 miles. It's right there. We're 15 miles from it. It's right off of 33. If we would have camped, we'd have been right at it. We take CR29 to Spruce Knob Lake.
Sunday afternoon, another reruns on the TV.
been to Spruce Knob, and oddly enough, there really isn't a lot of traffic on it. We didn't see anybody coming the other direction, and it felt really good because we really did feel like we were traveling in the back and beyond of this country. From the top of Spruce Knob, you could just see for miles, and we all climbed up to that lookout, and you could just 360 degrees, you could just see for miles, and it was just fantastic. It was the first real place that we had been on the trip that gave us that sense that we were in a unique part of the country. Those types of areas are why we did this. We knew we would run into these areas, and we wanted to find them.
I can't carry a tune, yeah, when you're not here by my side. Well, I'm just trying.
Me, not too long to fall asleep. It was more like I woke up 7 times this morning. How about you?
I slept great.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You were one of few.
How you doing?
I gotta have my feet kicked up. I'm in good shape. I don't know how Tim is. Packed down like pack mules with clampets on 2 wheels. We got passed by a couple of bikers. I don't think they know quite what to do with us.
I did. I was looking at the.
Did you see
Tim
it?
was even. He was. I knew he saw it. But I was like, oh, look at Starbucks City.
Yeah, I could use a cup of coffee right about now. But we're close. I mean, we're really.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
we gotta
we're-
get set up. I want to
think
sit up
we're
in
like
the
3
daylight too. I don't
miles.
want to. Yeah.
We're like 3 miles away.
I don't want to be sitting up at nighttime.
She
You
has to
know?
get the address.
We made it to our camp.
That double-edged axe look to it.
We did make it to our camp. I had just all kinds of emotions floating around in me because I just I wanted to get here so badly, but every time we were passing, I was just thinking, "Oh God, please let this not be the town." Maybe it looks better during the day. You think it looks better?
Sure.
It looks better during the day.
Sure.
I'm sure it looks better during the day. I left my headlights on. Well, this area is the Hatfield McCoy. And they were infamous all over the country for the fights that they would have. They would schedule them. They would these people would
At high noon.
yeah, and their families would just fight. So this is actually a really important area with history, believe it or not. I mean, they really had it out for years. It was crazy. Well, let's go get fireworks.
Should we
Leave
at
the
least
cameras
start?
here.
Oh, leave the cameras?
Yeah, because the price might go up if they see the camera.
Oh, okay.
We decided to do this trip on motorcycles because it's a unique and efficient way to travel, but it's difficult. Everything means something different when you ride instead of driving across the country. And what's really interesting about being on a motorcycle is you're with other people, but you're also alone. I mean, if you think about it, I spent the whole day alone. So, you know, all I had was me, myself, inside my helmet, working things out. We've dealt with a lot of things that,
It's in my helmet.
you know, we shouldn't have had to go through. We've dealt with horrible weather, we've dealt with late schedules, we've dealt with, you know, mishaps that have gone on. And then Mother Nature basically looked down on us and said, "So you really want to do this?
We're going northwest right now.
You know, you want to go across the country? Prove it." And just unleashed everything. It was just rain and wind and cold, and it was okay. I think the crew was frustrated and having a difficult time moving those first couple of days, but everybody's attitude was just fantastic. Ian decided to come over from North Carolina to meet us and to ride some of this route and get to know some of the crew. You know, it meant a lot to me to have somebody I had never met before show up early in the morning and find out what it was that we were doing. So it was a real honor to have him.
Yeah, that guy's probably sitting down there like, I gotta go.
The Trans-American Trail is a 4,721 mile set of routes that takes you from Jellicoe, Tennessee to the coast of Oregon. The majority of the route itself is dirt and gravel. It's a real dream for a lot of adventure motorcyclists to be able to ride this route. It was everything that I had ever read about it. The terrain was fantastic, the scenery was fantastic, and having Ian there, this guy who just heard about what we were doing and said, I have to be a part of this. I want to meet them and ride with them. We had our first accident in Tennessee.
What'd you say happened?
He fell and he needs Tim to go pick him up.
Jim fell.
Jim fell, yes.
It came up,
Okay, you're good. Yeah. Let me check over.
turned around, and it just went down. My foot was nowhere to be found.
Well, that's what can happen out here. And at least he's okay. Yeah. I was worried he might have hit his leg because those cases on the side right here, they can you know, the sharp corners. But as you can see, there's nowhere to go for the vehicles. This is just goat trails from here on in. That's about it. Cool terrain though.
Whoop. You alright?
Yeah. That's what he did. That's exactly what he did. I tried to steer it around.
Need some help.
Okay, that's all. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoop. There we go.
You know, I complain about falling over when I'm not moving.
Yeah.
The alternative isn't so good either.
Sounds good. All right. Oh man.
Oh my god, this is perfect. This is exactly what I was hoping it would be. You know, it's nice because there's not a lot of gravel. The bike just kind of does its thing, and you just sit back and enjoy the scenery. It's real nice. I don't know about these guys. They're getting a little bit, kicking up some dust. I kicked up some dust for them. How you guys holding up?
Is that a compliment or an insult? Anyone who raised you.
He could only stay with us for a part of the day because he had to actually get back. But just the time that he was there was great. He came over, we had a great time.
Next stop, Big South Fork.
I believe it was 86 when they finally,
1986.
yeah, when they finally took the money. I mean, got the money to start buying land. What happened was the Corps of Engineers came in and built it, laid everything out, and then they handed it over to the Park Service. When I was 25, 30 year old, there was an old house place here and apple trees, and it was a good place to spotlight deer for the illegal hunters of the night. Horseback riding is one of the main attractions. We have a couple of horse rides, endurance rides, one in the spring, one in the fall. A lot of our trails go down next to the river and along the river, and there's all kinds of rock bluffs and you know, overlooks. We've got a backcountry cabin or group of cabins called Chariot Creek, and the same people that run Mount LeConte run it. And you hike or horseback ride in. They keep you overnight, feed you. You know, they've got places to keep your horses. A lot of people use it. It's real pretty down the valley. They just gave me this.
Oh, nice.
This is a park guide, visitor guide.
Thank you.
Here's some maps of the local area.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Big South Fork has some pretty decent campsites here, so we're going to stay here tonight, and we'll be heading into Kentucky tomorrow.
List of everything we need. 4 pages.
Today, 36 hours here before we're gonna leave, and had 2 kind of minor setbacks.
I'm enjoying the music while the party is being reached, so you don't have to film me.
So what just happened?
Well, we're taking the van out for a test run, and the lift died. And this isn't exactly promising at this point that this van's going to be good for the trip. So, this should be interesting. My dad's going to take the van out to the rental company, and basically 24 hours before we're supposed to leave, we don't know if we have a van at this point. The other one is we found out that our first hotel has been flooded and we can't stay at that hotel. So now we are looking for a new hotel, as well as taking care of the equipment that was supposed to be delivered to that hotel. We have to redirect that equipment to the new hotel. Yeah, hopefully it works out.
Here, look. Look at this right here. This is the worst.
No, I'm in Tennessee. No, I'm in Kentucky.
Our plan was to move from Kentucky through Missouri and into Oklahoma. We wanted to get there as quickly as we could. As we were going along, we saw this huge obelisk pointing up into the sky, and we really needed to find out what it was, so we stopped.
You know who this guy is, right? He's the first and only president of the Confederate States of America.
Okay.
Jefferson Davis. So I didn't even know this was here. I didn't know there was a memorial like this dedicated to him, but it's here. We were supposed to do 90 miles and we did 88. So we'll stop. We should take a look and see.
This is the Jefferson Davis Memorial, the monument built to honor the birthplace of Jefferson Davis. Jefferson Davis was born here in Kentucky on June 3rd, 1808. He moved from here, went further south to Mississippi, and spent the majority of his life further south. He was a West Point graduate, Mississippi congressman, senator from Mississippi, Secretary of War under Franklin Pierce, and then was elected president of the Confederate States of America, the only president. The idea, the concept came about in 1908. That would have been the centennial of Jefferson Davis's birth. And about 1909, at a reunion of the Kentucky Orphan Brigade, the idea was proposed, and they started raising money. The ground was bought, and construction on the monument began in 1917. My greatest number of visitors happen upon me. They're driving down 68 and just see the thing and have to come over here and see what it is.
First and only one. And he was actually, after the war was over, Lincoln didn't want prisoners. Like usually what they did, after war, they would, a lot of times people who started it would be put to death or whatever, like Lee and all of those guys.
Yeah.
Lincoln didn't want that. And said there was enough blood, but they did imprison Jefferson Davis.
Really?
Yeah, they did imprison him. Everybody else got to go free. I-65 80.
Oh, I'm not one to cause a fight. I don't drink whiskey late at night. But you know there's another side to me.
121, 62, 57, Go through K-Road.
I ain't ever been to Tennessee. 'Cause really I ain't.
Okay, this is it. West. We are now west. Oh, we will be.
But I know I got Dixie blood. Not a country boy, but I know I got Dixie blood.
You see the trees? We're laying over. It looked like something came right through, so probably hit a lot of this today. We're not even on the route yet.
This is a new kind of riding for me. I don't know what the rain must have been like here. It must have been unreal. I've never ridden like this before. I've never dealt with this kind of terrain. I've never dealt with anything like this. I've never dealt with anything like this ever. It's a lot of fun, but it is really, really difficult to do this. I can't keep my bike moving. This is crazy. This is crazy. There had been a lot of rain in Oklahoma before we got here, and the roads were just completely washed out at times. It was quite a challenge to be going down these roads that had been transformed into just mud and bogs at times. Even with the roads the way they were, though, I mean, we really had a great time trying to get through it. It was just a lot of fun to try to, you know, get down these roads that in some instances had become completely impassable. I don't know, there was a certain ridiculousness of the whole thing.
I thought I was stuck back there. I couldn't get out. This is just completely... It's a mess. Wow! Oh man, if we mess up...
No, I know. This is you can't
mess up. We're going back to Pittsburgh.
You can't mess up here.
We gotta head to New Orleans so we can catch the bike before it hits the Gulf.
Yeah. No way. Huh?
I'm dead serious. I'm not going any farther. It's gonna be up to here.
I mean, I kind of want to do it, but
Oh, I want to do it too, but not with the current.
Hey, Maddie, keep going. Keep going.
Dude, she's got to come back when she gets.
She could do it.
Tim, I'm telling you, it's not the current. It's not the depth. We're gonna deal with those kinds of things, but not with that current the way it is.
Could you make it across? Do you think in your mind? Can you
I don't
that?
know.
No. Tim, stop it. We've got plenty of these to do. That current
It's really strong.
is really strong. I'm not worried about the bikes. Everybody, that vehicle's gonna float until it fills up with water. If it starts to float with the current as strong as it is, like I told you, we'll pick you up in the Gulf of Mexico.
All right.
It's probably like maybe 11, 12 inches, maybe a foot, but I don't see any deeper.
You really want to do that?
Yeah, we'll go across.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You go first.
I need a reward.
What's that?
How about a cold beer?
Going in the drink. Going in the drink. Then move over to your right. Keep your engine going. Keep your engine going.
Should we go push him?
Wow! I'll tell you what, It's harder than it looks, man.
I know.
Holy heck. I say we turn around. Because Jim's right. It actually has enough power to get that up off of its wheels a bit, and then you become buoyant, it will take you right over into there. One good thing is, anytime it seems like we get wet, Jim always says, hotel.
These tires are useless right about now. They're just packed with mud. I'm just picking up mud as I walk. Bikes get very, very heavy.
Very heavy.
When you're
Yeah,
doing that. I think I like this kind of riding in theory.
Tim, do you want to put some of your stuff in our vehicle?
He thought he was thirsty.
Taking my cases off.
Okay.
You should too.
We're
gonna end up breaking a leg.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Hit you in the back of the calf.
You slip.
Yep.
And your leg goes underneath that case.
I knew it, bro.
Yeah.
I know. Yep.
It's not worth it.
I mean, this is rugged. This is a little bit beyond this bike with all this on there, with those muddy trails.
This is actually kind of nice.
Yeah, it's nice, but I still don't trust it because I know any moment you get that washout and you're done with high speeds on these bikes.
Highway 10 is down that way. A couple more crossings, the guy said. Some of them are kind of deep, but you should be able to do it. All right, go ahead.
Clean this bike off too a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll give it 2 shots.
Let's stop and call Nick and see how his first day went.
So, gonna talk about yesterday real fast. Yesterday was basically just a travel day. Make it from Indianapolis all the way out here to Iowa. But we did stop at Abraham Lincoln's house in Springfield, Illinois. Very, very interesting. They had a little museum set up with some maps and some different types of things like that. We just went into the Lincoln house to get a little tour, and I don't know how I made it in and out of there, but I've never had to make turns like that in my life. The turn, a couple of them were probably exactly the size of my wheelchair, and turning was almost impossible. Then when coming through the one room, I guess the curtain got stuck on my wheel, and I almost tore down Abraham Lincoln's curtains. I think the hard time that I had just shows that, I mean, obviously the house would be accessible, but even some of the accessible things are not always as accessible as they seem to be. I've never never driven like that before, so hopefully I never have to again, because my arm is exhausted at this point.
So how you liking it
This
out
is
here?
ridiculously amazing. I've never seen anything like this before, ever. I want to hit some more mud.
pavement was such a wonderful invention. Those cases sit low and they're wide. So when the bike tilts, they're twice their weight. It just pulls the bike. And we're gonna have to pick up some speed somewhere. We have not covered much ground at all. How can anybody not love this? Honestly, there's a part of me that's been waiting a whole trip to see these hills in Oklahoma. I mean, it's just clear and you can just see forever. The trip was about getting here. It was about getting to Oklahoma. There's something about Oklahoma that really, not to discount, the places that we've been, but it really was about getting to this point. What? Yeah, those are true.
The morning after we stayed at the Great Salt Plains Lake, we went to the Salt Plains Wildlife Refuge, which was nearby, and Becky gave us a great presentation of what they do there.
A lot of the waterways here were founded back in the 1920s, 1930s. There was a concrete spillway put here over the Salt Fork of the Arkansas River. When that happened, this entire area was just flooded and it became a wetland that is for migratory birds. What I mean by that is waterfowl, cranes, songbirds, and shorebirds, because this is a 10,000 acre salt flat. And this salt flat is one of the top international migratory spots for shorebirds of the interior. Now this one was wholly set up just for the migratory waterfowl. That's your mallards and black ducks and blue-winged teals. A lot of people are like, oh, those things are everywhere. You can find them all over. But in the 1930s, they were actually rare to see a mallard. The whooping crane is really special right now because there's only about 60 to 80 of them still alive. Wow. On our salt flat, which is very large, we have a crystal called the selenite crystal. Terns actually use those crystals. And you will see crystals lining their nest. What we decide to do at the Fish and Wildlife Service is we want to hone in on our endangered species first. Then we'll go and see if the international circuit is working as well. I have been in the refuge system for about 3 years. I just came from a refuge in Virginia called Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge.
After meeting Becky, we decided to look around the refuge for a while. The landscape is very dormant. It's not something that you would expect from Oklahoma, or at least not something I expected from Oklahoma. It's very quiet, but if you look closely, you can see that there's a lot of wildlife within it. It was a great experience, I think, for the group to spend some time there. We didn't talk much. We kind of just stood around and watched the land for a while, and it was a very peaceful moment in the trip. Leaving Oklahoma, we were heading north into Kansas. We checked the map and saw that we were heading past Greensburg, which was completely wiped out by an EF5 tornado in 2007. They're currently rebuilding the town with a lot of green technologies.
Is that his name?
The mayor set some time aside for us to let us know a little bit about what they're doing.
Area? Pennsylvania? Well, this is a little out of your territory to be able to see this far. Our storm happened a year ago on May the 4th on a Friday, and it hit about 9:40, 9:45. And right in this area, there wasn't anything left. Our forefathers were the original, through conservation practices on their farms and with the land. They knew if you took care of the land, it took care of you. They knew about passive solar heat. They knew about geothermal to cool their farm products, eggs and etc. I was born and raised 17 miles out in the country and up in northwest Kansas. And we didn't throw away anything, any stubs of anything, because you might need it later. And it costs too much to run to town and get everything you needed. The concepts are not new in our area, so it was an easy sell. And the sell was the sustainable, renewable, and energy efficient, and less dependent on fossil fuel. We love having you here because we like people to hear our story that we are past the tornado. We are about the future, and we are about the opportunity that we can build a bigger, better, safer, healthier community than we had before. Very few communities in the United States have been blessed with the opportunity we had to start all over. In the midst of disasters, rely on your faith, family, and friends, and you can survive. You can build back.
Yeah.
We went in a little coal chute type thing off the basement. We got in that. Some good friends of mine died here in the tornado, and we'll miss them. You know, no one knew. You know, it was going to be so big. They blew the whistles for a full 20 minutes before the tornado hit. Wouldn't have been for that, half the town would have been killed, probably. If we'd only had 2 minutes of warning, we'd have been in trouble. And that's happened before. But the tornadoes always missed. You know, people got numb to that. But it took that house and moved it off the foundation, moved it clear to the street. The whole thing lasted about 5 minutes, the tornado, because it was so wide. It was 2 miles wide, but it was also real deep, you know, like 2 miles. So it took it a while to get by us, and then it went out here and turned around and came back.
Imagine what this was like the first day. I was talking to one of the guys over at the Discovery Channel, and he said the same thing. He's just like, you walk around, you don't even know what to say except what happened to your town. Like, wow, this is a slow day. This is the least amount of work that has been done since she's been here, and they've been here for 8 months.
Yeah.
She said, you wake up and there are people just all over the place. She said, this is the slowest day that it's ever been. There are students here, there are people from all over the country just volunteering. You know, there's nothing intelligent that can come out of your mouth, or my mouth, with this. And he was telling me he had the same reaction. He walked in and there was nothing that could come out of his mouth that made any sense.
Is there anything else that we can do to help you guys out?
It's been fantastic.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, we've been all over town. Everybody's
We
been
want
amazing.
you to be able to say when you leave, you had a pleasant experience here.
It's already been done. It's already a done deal.
You talked
And
a whole
if you
bunch.
didn't, we apologize, but maybe some of that's your own fault.
We are heading north on Route 23, and we are still in Kansas and on our way to Nebraska.
A flash flood watch means that it is
Oh, yeah.
may result in flash flood. A tornado warning remains in effect until 4 p.m.
183.
The tornado will be near. Starkville by 3:40 p.m.
It's coming. It's here. It's already forming in the sky. It's here. It's just like it's whenever it decides to touch the ground and bounce back up again.
Start to see smoke. We'll go in that building. It's a nice solid brick. Don't panic. Look at the street because there are going to be cars coming down the road. Anybody coming down this road, if that touches down, they're not going to be looking at the road. They're going to be looking up there.
Basement is available. Seek shelter on the lowest floor of the building in an interior hallway or reception closet.
I'm gonna say if we clash, if this clashes.
We're moving.
We have a problem.
What? Hold
the
on.
key might have been left on.
Why?
Let's see if I turn it on.
Well, you gotta pull the clutch.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the kickstand. Freaking out. Sorry.
That's my job.
You're getting
You're
sloppy.
supposed to stay calm. I'm supposed to freak out. Damn it, I'm gonna be bored all day. Let's sell these bikes and just get another SUV.
I know.
They're nuts in the truck.
Hey, maybe we can get Converse to kick in some shoes.
Yeah, these things are doing great.
We wanted to get to Ogallala, Nebraska. We were going to camp on a lake called Lake McConaughey. There's some pretty violent storms in the area. I'm not comfortable, but the weather has just been really bad, and we're just not going to be able to do it.
That storm that you saw from the distance, holy moly.
It's what, eh?
To be honest, I think this has the potential to kick something down as well.
What's that?
I was looking at it too.
I was watching it the whole time. I was trying to watch the road.
I was eyeing it more when I saw you guys pointing like back and forth, and then I was like just staring at them, and I was like, that
so was
doesn't
I.
look good.
It's the biggest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like that. I mean, it's really far away, but
Yeah, so much power in that. It's pulling for hundreds of miles. It's actually just pulling everything in.
That's going this way, and the wind is going that way. So, all right, you leave.
We're going to get a hotel for the night and see what the weather gives us in the morning.
Alright, so yesterday was a pretty interesting day overall, I'd say. First of all, we went to the Field of Dreams movie site, basically the baseball field for Field of Dreams.
Cover!
We saw the owner of the property there. We talked to him, and there's some really interesting facts about the movie.
Dubuque, Iowa, which is probably about 25 miles from here, was contacted by the Universal Studios, and they told them what kind of setting they wanted, so they came out here and they took videotapes of it and then sent it back to the producer in California, and he's the one that sort of like what he saw, and so that's how it all sort of started, you know. I mean, they were looking from Tennessee all the way up to Canada. They weren't here every day. I mean, they'd come for 3-4 days, and then they'd go some other place, like they do downtown Dubuque. They maybe that looked like Boston. They make Greeley, Illinois look like Chisholm, Minnesota. So Dubuque was their main headquarters.
Just the whole experience of being at that field for a movie, where a movie was filmed like that, it was just a really amazing experience.
Jesus set her free. I can speak the truth. Jesus set her free.
Nebraska was a big surprise. I never really thought that it would be so beautiful and there would be so much there. Lake McConaughey was absolutely amazing. We were there most of the day by ourselves, and it was just really peaceful and serene. It was great.
Like while we were there, I forgot that we were even in the United States, to be honest, because it was just gorgeous, and I felt like I was on some like island somewhere. To find that like in the middle of the country, in a state that you really wouldn't expect, was really, really incredible.
If they are TKC 80s, just have them hold both of them, just in case. Got into South Dakota yesterday from Nebraska. You know, it's amazing how the ground knows to change as you cross over the border into South Dakota. The landscape just completely transforms itself.
South Dakota was incredible. The landscape was nothing like I'd ever seen before. I've never been that close to an animal and its living habitat. I just loved South Dakota. I didn't want to leave there for the longest time.
I'm really excited about being here. I've been here before, and since then, I've really been counting the days until I'd return.
Passageways that go off in different directions. There's even passageways that are on our tour route that haven't even been surveyed or mapped yet. And it's all surveyed by volunteers.
Wind Cave was really cool. We were joking with you earlier. Wind Cave was actually really neat. It went about 200 and some feet down. It was a guided tour.
Tom and Jesse Bingham saw some of the grass moving over. And Tom went over to go check it out. When he went over to it and he pulled the grass back, there was an opening about this big. And so he's got his cowboy hat on nice and snug. He poked his head right over that hole and whoop, his hat went right off.
What was really wild was that you would look up at the ceiling and you would see this huge cutout in the ceiling, okay? And then you would look down on the floor and you would see this giant rock. And the rock fit perfectly into that shape. Indention in the ceiling of the cave. So at some point you knew that huge, this probably could have been 200-ton rock fell from the ceiling at some point in time. You know what I mean? It was wild. Some of the rocks actually were broken and some of them weren't. And what the girl said was that that cave was actually completely underwater at one point. And so a lot of the rocks that you saw that fell from the ceiling actually didn't break. They just broke off and landed because they were in water. They didn't break. It was cool. Men in our camp last night told us about the White River Visitor Center near what is known as Strong Mountain Table, which is where the Native Americans retreated after the massacre at Wounded Knee. It sounded like something that we really needed to see.
1939, Washington sent down a delegation to remove the Native Americans from this area. We are explaining the history of this land base here of 140,000 acres, not just the park area, but also the whole 1.2 million acre area, which how large our tribe is, the Oglala Sioux tribe. We're the second largest tribe in the nation. That's always been very brought out to us by our elders, keeping our land base the way it was. It's the way our elders always taught us. The treaties that were set forth here for us by the United States government was very limited in resources. They gave us a plow and a mule to become farmers, which we already were. From the 1800s to the year 2008, we are still sticking to our grassroots. We still want to be like our ancestors taught us to be good with nature. This area was our backyard, and a lot of our ancestors are buried out there.
We got to see our first bison. They're so enormous, but they have a very disinterested demeanor, and it's so funny.
They just like bob their heads back and forth and just wonder what's going through their minds.
I don't know, the bison were everywhere. So it's been really nice to be able to go out into these more remote areas. It really hit me how much these landscapes do play a part in people's lives.
We have to go down this road, I believe. The road looked awfully soft, and this bike is really heavy right now.
I almost really lost back there. I don't know if you guys saw it. This is amazing. But this road is just too soft. I gotta get some of this weight off here. Like normally, if it starts to fishtail, you can stop it, but there's just so much weight on the back that you can't stop it. It just starts pulling you all over the place. Your front wheel hits it and it's really light, you know? And if the front wheel's really light and it hits that, it just goes wherever it goes. Probably doesn't help that I'm listening to music as I'm going down the road either. But Whitesnake came on, so I couldn't shut it off.
It's possible?
No, there's kangaroos in the Rocky Mountains. They're harsh animals. They have really big toenails to catch. It's for a grip, so they can jump off the side of the mountain. Sometimes I just like to talk and make everybody believe me and like keep a straight face. Yeah.
People do this without production crews. That's what's amazing. Like we have trucks that we can put this stuff in, you know. But people do. I mean, people ride and you know they deal with it. But this is the white collar version. That's where we're going. That's where we're headed.
Let's start climbing.
Time has come, the curtain is open. It's time for us all to see. The days roll by, and the years they keep on turning. Show us now what you've come to be. Oh,
These trees here are tips of them are brown. You'll see that they've turned brown on the top, and then sometimes the entire pine tree has turned brown. Apparently, we're halfway through a 10-year cycle of a particular kind of beetle that actually burrows its way inside of the tree. So they're dying, and they go through about a 10-year cycle about every 30 years. Because of that, they've got a large threat of forest fires.
Show me how to stand. Call my name and let me this way.
These cows just live out here, so they could be on the road. There's no fences.
What would you say if I told you that the music died because no one here could find a cure?
Who'd have thought there'd be a lake at 9,100 feet, you know?
Do you think that you could still sing
Lake.
your songs and leave the crowd begging for more? The struggle
one of the areas I was most excited seeing. It was really great to see that those kinds of places still are in existence and still are part of the United States.
Feet, we have 2,000 more to go.
When we got to the summit, it was windy and it was cold. I couldn't feel my fingers, but I just wanted to stay there. It was great. It was great to have that experience going through the Rockies. It was something I've always wanted to do, and I'm really happy that I got to experience that.
We got lucky, we got great weather. By the way, this is great weather for Trail Ridge. So we got that. 12,090 feet. Highest continuous road in the U.S. Meaning that it goes up, comes back down as one piece of road. Route 34 is actually what it is.
Okay, so we're here, about to leave Rapid City, South Dakota, to go to Billings, Montana. Yesterday was a pretty good day overall. We went to the Wall Drug Store, which is, well, we didn't even know about it until we started driving to Rapid City. There are signs, billboards, all across the highway. I'd say for about 100 to 200 miles. Come visit the Wall Drug. Come visit this. Come visit that. So we decided by the time we got there that we just had to visit it. I'm being forced to do this against my will. If you picture the biggest drugstore you know, multiply it by 4, and that's what this place is. It has souvenirs and t-shirts and games and pictures and just everything that you can imagine is in this Wall drugstore. After that, we went off to the Badlands. There are no words to describe actually being there. That's something that everybody, I think, should see at least once in their lifetimes. We spent probably over an hour and a half there, just driving along the trail. It's a 40-mile trail, absolutely incredible, and it really is beyond words to actually see that. Whenever you're at the highest point, if you look as far as you can see, it almost looks like you can see forever. It looks like you can see around the curve of the earth, and that is just absolutely amazing. Yesterday was a pretty good day overall. It's probably our most interesting day yet. We first started out by going to a wildlife park. We drove through the path and animals and bears and deer and reindeer and all that. We're walking right up to the van, right in front of the van. We could see them.
We're stuck. This could take longer than 45 minutes.
You don't get that every day. You'll see these animals every day, so it's pretty cool to go to a park like that. And after that, we went to Mount Rushmore, which was absolutely amazing. To see the history like that, and to see a monument, a memorial of that size and that important, it's amazing to think about. We got to talk to one of the rangers there and get some of the facts of the memorial.
Once a year, they go up there in August
and they check for cracks. Find cracks up there, they fill it in with resin material. But if water gets in there and it freezes, it tends to make the cracks wider. So every August they have a team that goes up there to fill in all the cracks to make sure the cracks don't get any wider. The faces are 60 feet, the eyes are like 11 feet wide, the mouth is 18 feet wide. And if you made these men to full scale, they'd be 465 feet tall, which means if they were standing next to the Washington Monument, they would be able to put their hand on top of the Washington Monument. So if you've ever seen that monument, you know how tall it is. These men would make King Kong and Godzilla look like a couple of stuffed animals.
It's just truly amazing to be here, truly amazing to see something historical like this. And thankfully we have a nice sunny day here that we can enjoy being out here. It's amazing to be there, and it's amazing to think about.
She's gonna find a hotel, and I'm gonna get a nice, warm coffee. I'm gonna pour it down my shirt. That was cold, but this is good. I don't know what this strange feeling is. Feels warm. Bright light in the sky. I haven't seen it. I remember seeing it a long time ago, but I can't remember what they called it. All right, let's go check out some Utah. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Can you bring that with you?
You know, when we were planning for this trip, I spoke to a lot of people about us going into Utah, and every time I spoke to people about it, they all stressed the importance of us going into Moab. It was really a unique experience. I don't know if there are words that can be put to it. Today's kind of an emotional day for me.
Not too much further. We might go a little faster though. Maybe. See if I can break something else on my bike while we're going. Oh no!
We lost them both.
Did it spill?
Yeah, a little bit.
It broke it.
This one's cracked, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Amy? Can you shut off the car, please? Thank you.
You guys need pop.
The rocks show a reflection of time that's beyond my ability to comprehend. The moment I got here, I felt immediately at home. I really feel like this is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Jim, you have a flat tire.
Sharp stuff, man. Sharp stuff.
Beautiful scenery to fix it, right? Bill, you can take care of that, right?
Yeah.
Just lift the bumper up for us while we lose. Oh, you know what? We have to stay here an extra day.
You poked
Too bad.
You poked a hole in our tire on purpose.
That's what I got. Came out in the middle of the night.
I knew it.
All right, you ready? Let's get moving.
Let's get moving.
The wind and the rocks and the mountains that are around you and the canyon that has been cut by the Colorado River is something that you have to see it with your own eyes. It's not something that I think I can explain. One of our supporters told me that I would be a different person when I left Moab, but I would be more myself than I had ever been, and he was right.
You lifted the bike up, you pulled the bike back?
Yeah.
And you just walked away. And I'm standing there going, Tim. I'm like, don't leave me here.
You're fine. I left you up front. You're fine.
Hurt like the dickens. My head bounced off the ground, but it was too funny. I kept laughing.
Got it. And turn the wheel. Lift. Right back in the hole. Go. The sun's drying us out really badly. It's not hot. I'm not hot at all.
No, it's just about
the weather is fantastic, but it's just. Oh, I need water.
The rocks give you a very insignificant feeling, but it's an insignificance in a very good way. It gave me the ability to put a lot of the issues that I deal with in my life into perspective and realize what's important and what isn't. These roads are amazing. I knew the roads were going to be like this. These roads are just so much fun. I feel like I'm completely removed from the rest of the world. I just can't seem to keep my bike upright. I don't know if you'd necessarily call it spiritual, but it was definitely something that put my life into perspective.
Can you believe we're here?
Look at this.
I mean, can you believe this?
I was told by some that it was one of the most enlightening places that a person can go to. I was constantly coming around bends and seeing landscapes and views that just gave me pause, and I think that the whole group was having that similar experience. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that I could be here. Be a very difficult place to leave.
Like riding like that. We're trying to make the Bonneville salt flats before the sun goes down so that we can see some nice skies. I hope to take a break. I looked at the thing of the GPS and it's like 35 miles left. I can't do it. I have to stop. This is Utah. Utah, but I'm taller. Oh, and we were talking to a guy at the gas station for like the first time since he can remember, and he looked like he was probably in his 60s. That it's flooded. Salt flats actually have water. The dry lake is not dry.
This is where things went a little sideways. The salt flats were incredible, and I felt a certain honor about riding on them because I'd seen and read so much about people driving on the salt flats. I was in the lead and I didn't realize that I had left the area where the salt was, which makes the ground hard. And we started to get into a very soft, muddy type of ground. I was just too busy looking around, and then suddenly...
I was afraid of this. I was really afraid of this. You gotta stay on the white stuff. If they get behind to push it, they can catch over.
Wait, your bike's not gonna stay, Jeff.
Yeah, it is.
Put it against when they get out, we'll put it against the SUV.
Okay.
This is our first time officially off-roading because this is what happens. And the tires are completely caked in mud, so there's
We
like no
could just
traction.
leave it here and come pick it up.
Yeah, we can let it dry out. The sun gets hot enough tomorrow.
We're trapped in the middle of salt.
for a minute. Okay, just stand at the very end of it for us. Alright.
This doesn't make any sense.
It won't stay up.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you can camp all around here, but I don't want to go any further once we get this out. Wendover is 8 miles from here. No, less than that. 2 miles.
Okay. All right, leave this right here for a minute. Don't move it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
The back wheels aren't moving.
That'll do it. Stop, stop, stop.
I still think we should be pushing.
Yeah. When he starts to move, come here.
Never mind. Thank you.
We got it.
Keep driving, Tim.
All right, now this one.
Get some air out of the tires. I need you to figure out a way
H-E-L-P.
get a hotel. I need a directory of figure out a hotel in Wendover.
Can I use your GPS?
Yes. Go get it. That's fine. And let's just pray that there is one.
If I'd have had hard ground somewhere and a long enough rope, yeah, but you get a little closer, you're in the same mess. Whenever you go to pull something, tow something, it's important to remember to put it on the front axle. It's very dangerous to the back of this because you can actually, something like a tractor, since that's the power axle, it actually flips it over and it'll kill you. It'll flip it right on you, bury you. So you always put it on the front.
Yeah.
Hey Jim!
Yeah, now.
It's not coming out.
I'm not jumping for joy right now.
No.
We're going to get our car out of the mud. I can't even think straight. What time is it?
8:14.
A bunch of people from the old Commonwealth of Pennsylvania decided to go for a drive through the Bonneville salt flats yesterday. So we went out and got stuck. So we're calling a tow truck to get us out. You know, I'll bet the people around here just go out there with binoculars and just hang. And I remember the conversation, I was repeating it to myself, Bill was there. I'm like, well, you know what we'll do? We'll go to the Bonneville salt flats, it'll be great. It'll be great, everyone will be in a great mood. Back on the horse. That's how it's done.
Mr. Toe better be sticking around. Oh, I get on pavement. Uh-oh.
Everything we did about going out on this dried lake bed was wrong. But it
it actually ended up being a lot of fun. I mean, you know, there's a lot of situations where you get into kind of a pseudo-crisis. If you don't have the right people with you, things can really fall apart. And that didn't happen at all. Actually, everybody just kind of relaxed, and we started digging out the truck to see if maybe we could get, you know, the wheels on some sort of level ground. And for those of you who want to go on the Bonneville Salt Flats, you want to remember that driving on the Bonneville Salt Flats is considered to be off-road, and that your AAA will not cover a tow. We found that out the hard way.
Hi, we're here in Euegene, Washington. We're getting ready to leave and head to Portland, Oregon. Yesterday was probably, well, no, definitely our longest day so far. We left the hotel at 10:30 in the morning. We didn't get here until midnight, and that was with gaining an hour in the time change. However, we did get to do some cool things. We went to the Glacier National Park and got to see the sceneries there, even though we could only go 16 miles because there were 25 feet of snow up in the mountains, so we couldn't go up very far, but we did get to see 16 miles of it. Luckily, we found one of the three handicap accessible ramps in the park. We were lucky that we found it. We almost missed it driving past it, but I was able to go and get pretty close to the waterfall and get a good view of it and all that. There was a lot on my neck and my back to be sitting and driving for that long, even though I wasn't physically sitting there doing the driving. Just being on the roads and sitting straight like that for that number of hours without a break and stuff like that. It was a little tiring, and I think as soon as we got to the hotel, I crashed and fell asleep almost instantly once I got into bed. So it was a pretty long day overall. So it was a long trip, but luckily we were able to leave a little bit later today because we have a short trip today, and the weather is very nice out today, so it should be a good trip today to Portland.
We're all pretty eager to get to Oregon and meet Nick and see Crater Lake. We're going to push on through Idaho, hopefully, and get there as soon as possible.
What is going on? We're in Twin Falls, Idaho, dealing with 2 flat tires. It's been a heck of a ride this morning trying to figure that out. But we're getting some tires put on the vehicles so we can somehow make it west, get to Oregon. I'm going to look at the map and see where we are because we're off route because of this. You know, so unfortunately, even though we didn't really want to be spending too much time in cities, when this kind of thing happens, that's what you do. You get to the best populated area you can find. So we got in here last night, and we'll get this done and hopefully push on at a decent time. It's just been one thing after another. Yeah, it's freezing cold here. Well, it's not freezing cold, it's like 49 degrees with 30 to 40 mile an hour wind in June. I was like, you know, it's really odd here. You never get this kind of weather this time of year. I'm thinking, of course you don't.
A while back, Tim had told me about a friend of his that had died base jumping in Idaho. And when we were getting our tires fixed, I realized we were very close to the area. So I thought it was pretty important for us to stop and spend some time there.
Jason Corcoran, a good buddy of mine. I used to skydive with him. He made a bunch of base jumps and came here with about 4 others from Skydive PA. In fact, I never thought I'd be standing at this site. A little strange feeling, actually. His pilot chute never inflated. He must have hit somewhere down here because, as you can see, they jump and then they try to land on that flat spot down there. Little open area, they probably leap right there.
told me.
We stopped at a convenience store outside of Burns, Oregon. And we met a local who told us that there was a hot springs called Crystal Crane Hot Springs, very close to our location. We hadn't gone the distance that we had planned, but we were very excited about being able to spend some time in an area like this. So we decided to go there. Great for the whole crew. We enjoyed ourselves completely. The sky was perfect, the weather was perfect, and it was probably one of the better ideas that we had on the trip. The owner of the hot springs told us about the Steens Mountain Loop, which runs around the Steens Mountains. So we're going to go down that highway and see. She said it's really something very special.
See those animals?
Mm-hmm.
What was that second?
I think it was a jackrabbit back there. Yeah.
Ears like that long.
Yeah. I had read about this. The All-Ford Desert. I had read about this. And there's a hot spring right there. It's beautiful. It's just a desert, and you can see off in the distance. There's one over there. Little sandstorms keep popping up. Dried Lake, the old All-Ford Lake.
Flat tire. Leaking air. Again. Same one.
Both of them are flat.
Both of our rears are.
The same one that was wrong on your car and our car the other day. It's leaking air. I just got out of the car and I heard it. And then when I walked back this way, they said that this one is also leaking air and I can feel it. So yes, 2 flat tires.
Well, it turns out we don't have 2 flat tires, we have 4. We only have 2 spares, so we're going to have to make one good vehicle and get the other one towed.
The game plan from here?
Well, we're gonna go to Burns. Burns is about an hour and a half or hour from here. I think we're probably done with dirt. I'm okay with that. We've had some fun coming out here.
Portland, Oregon. We're packing up and getting ready to go meet the rest of the team at the lake a couple hours from here. Yesterday we went to Mount Rainier, which was a really good time. I think we all had a lot of fun there. Just to drive through the mountain like that was pretty cool. You know, you don't get to do that maybe once or twice in a lifetime. Okay, we're here at Mount Rainier. In the words of my mom, this place is breathtaking. Just all the sights. I mean, you have snow and trees and waterfalls, and I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, right now it's about 70 degrees out here, and there's still feet of snow on the sides of the road. It's just absolutely amazing to be here. Just to see something like this it's incredible. I said before, it looks fake to a point because it's that perfect. We're all having a good time here, goofing around with the snow, and my mom fell down in the snow a little bit before her and throws snowballs and stuff like that. It's just really, really amazing to be here. We tried to go to Mount St. Helens after that, but once we got there, we realized that it wasn't really as accessible to anyone as we thought. It was, you just kind of drove on the highway and saw it from a distance. So we were able to get some pictures from Mount St. Helens, but we weren't able to actually go up through the mountain like we were with Mount Rainier. So then, after that, we made our way here to Portland. Portland's seems like a beautiful city, you know. The people seem good. It seems like a nice little town here and all that. We had a good night. It wasn't too much driving for a change. And we're off to meet the rest of the team at the lake, which should be great. We're all rested. We're all ready to go. And Jim and his team should be ready, and should be a good day.
I'll see you at the lake. You did it, man.
Standing in the courtyard of the sea, wondering what I want my life to be. And do you think that this is fair? Do you think you're doing this for me?
How's he doing?
I think he's doing fine. I'm sure he's doing fine. He's Nick. I'm sure he's doing
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I wonder if he's having as many problems as we did.
No. He's in the car.
Writing poems and songs once pushed me to shove. Do you think that you'll stand tall? Do you think that you'll return my call? Please. Living is not easy when you're gone.
This area of the country is a place that I've been trying to get to for a long time. I'm finally here, and I was hoping that we would be able to make it. None of us were really sure if we were going to be able to pull this off. This was a really ambitious venture, and getting here was going to be that proof for me that we could do this and that this was possible.
This is Annie Creek, and it's slowly eroding the rocks here. The creek's actually been eroding this down since 7,700 years ago, I guess.
All right, we're almost at the top. Let's go.
I love my bike. Give a big squeeze. Okay.
really have spent 5 years trying to get to this place. It's really been the center of my obsession for, well, 5 years. It's a weird someday thing. So today is someday for me.
Hi, we're here at Perkins Peninsula waiting for Jim and the rest of the team. We were supposed to meet here about 12:30, but it's about 2:30 now. Apparently they had some issues with one of the motorcycles, so we're going to be waiting a while more. So while we're waiting, we're just going to go check out the grounds and see what it's like here and all that good stuff. Hi, Jim. Jim, if you're watching this, I meant that you eventually showed up to this place. Jim, edit this out. They're being mean. They're being mean. To get this at home. I just turned in here. Or should the extra view? They're really coming that way. Yeah. You'll turn. You'll come around. Put your hands on the steering wheel.
You have a great time?
Yeah, this is awesome.
How'd it go?
Great. Everybody well. Which one of you ran out of gas?
We both did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, I did. He was about to in about maybe a mile or two. Well, we figured it out. Now that we ran out of gas, the only thing we have left is fire and a shipwreck.
Oh no, we're not that.
So that's what we
That
have
can't
left on the
happen.
trip. You didn't go to the salt flats in Utah, did you? You went
We
north.
didn't do Utah yet. We're going to do it on the way back.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Word of caution.
if you go out on the salt flats, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's a road, and it's kind of unclear where that road is, but it's really important that you stay on it.
We'll have to turn this into a half track.
Yeah. Okay?
The journey further, so okay.
Okay, I just...
I can't believe we're here with you. This is amazing. This is amazing. Now we have to get back.
You beat us here.
Yeah, I know, we have to get back. I told you so that.
I feel like we're here, you're right.
There's months of planning and we're here.
I know. It's not quite sinking in yet. It'll sink in a little bit. It's a huge country, and every time you do it, you see something else. Well, we're like I said, about 70 miles from where we need to be. We're just going to follow this road the whole way to the coast.
Okay.
I'm tired of waiting for you, Nick. Let's go.
5 hours. 5 hours.
Oh, what a long ride. Oh, I'm exhausted.
Oh, well, I guess I'd have to say, hey, I'm getting tired of living here. Well, I need a place where it's warm and stays the same throughout the year. So won't you take me to the river? Oh, where the water is so clear. Well, I'll swim until I find the ocean, yeah, yeah, and the currents I won't fear. But it's time for me to
can't. You can't imagine. I can't believe that we did. That we got here.
We did it! Oh God, I can't believe it. We did it, man! What a sight, what a view. Congratulations, man. Congratulations to all of us. Thanks so much.
I can't believe we made it. We've just been getting on our bikes and going west every single day. Single cylinder, thumper, dual sport motorcycles. They took us all the way from Pittsburgh to here. Unbelievable.
It's been a long time since I've seen your smile. It's kinda hard to remember after a while. But when you once again hold your arms open for me, will you still be there waiting? 'Cause I'm a long, long way from home. No one seems to care. Body, turn. Will you lend an ear? I'm on my own. I'm just trying to make it right. But I need a friend tonight. It's been a long time since I've seen your loving eyes. And it's been a long time since you caught me by surprise. Well, it's just the magic that I feel when we're alone. It's something that makes me wanna turn and run back home. Turn and run back home. But I'm a long, long way from home, and no one seems to care. Body, turn. Where you landed in? I'm on my own. I'm just trying to make it right. But I need a friend tonight. I'm a long, long way from home, and no one seems to care. Body, turn. Where you landed in? I'm on my own. I'm just trying to make it right. But I need a friend tonight. I need a friend tonight. I need a friend tonight. Oh, I need a friend tonight. Oh, I'm not one to cause a fight. I don't drink whiskey late at night. But you know there's another side to me. I ain't got no twangy voice. Don't drive trucks, Corvettes, my choice. I ain't ever been to Tennessee. 'Cause really I ain't Hank, I'm not. One thing that I know I got, I'm not a country boy, but I know I got Dixie blood. I'm not a country boy, but I know I got Dixie blood. call her life. No dogs here, no cheating wife. There won't be no line dancing for me. Hunting deer can go to hell. I'll let out my rebel yell. 'Cause Memphis, yeah, she's calling through the trees. But Willie, I ain't Hank, I'm not. One thing that I know I got, I'm not a country boy.